The principle that every person should have equal access to justice is at the very heart of our system here in England and Wales. The United Nations Congress is the largest and most diverse forum in the area of crime prevention and criminal justice, and has an important role in shaping policy discussions, practices and commitments by the international community. Under Sustainable Development Goal 16, we have committed to promoting the rule of law in our national systems and internationally, and to ensuring equal access to justice for all. The rule of law depends upon our criminal justice systems working for all, and the UK supports UNODC's work in this area. Without effective and fair criminal justice systems, it's hard to make a sustainable impact against criminality. As an international community, we must take actions to ensure equal access to justice for all, including for vulnerable people, regardless of their status. This means ensuring that everyone is treated with respect and without discrimination. At the most basic level, it means that the doors of justice must be open to all people, which is why we spent £1.7 billion on legal aid last year and worked closely with stakeholders across the legal advice sector to develop and improve other forms of legal support. But there are court users for whom equal access is about more than just the availability of funding. Those with vulnerabilities and special needs require extra support throughout the process to ensure that not only are the doors of justice open, but that they have every opportunity to walk right through them. Being able to provide that help begins by understanding the challenges that vulnerable people face in the justice system. Both our court system and the legal profession in our country are providing staff and practitioners with practical support and evidence-based guidance on how to treat vulnerable people with dignity and respect, and how to design and to deliver services with vulnerabilities in mind. A range of special measures is available at the discretion of our courts to help vulnerable witnesses to give their best possible evidence. These include screens to prevent them coming face to face with defendants who might have caused them harm, intermediaries to support them to communicate effectively, and opportunities for them to give evidence via video link or to have it pre-recorded. Some of these measures are rightly available to vulnerable defendants too, who have as much right as anyone to give the best possible account of themselves in court. Over the last 12 months, COVID-19 has had huge implications for the operation of our court system. As the full consequences of the pandemic became clear, we acted quickly to make the courts COVID secure so that we could keep people safe from the virus. We employed extra staff and we've made hundreds of additional courtrooms available so that the system could react as larger accumulations of cases waiting to be heard than usual grew. And we've invested heavily to modernise our court buildings and to improve technology so that we could continue to deliver services remotely, including through the provision of audio and video hearings where appropriate. We worked in partnership with the judiciary, court staff, the legal profession and court users to plan and to execute these changes, but with minimal disruption to services. But we were very much aware that vulnerable court users would need extra support to mitigate against any unintended consequences. So we published a vulnerability action plan, setting out how we would ensure that any changes did not disadvantage or discriminate against them in any way. We also contributed to efforts to ensure that other justice services, such as those provided by the not-for-profit sector, could continue offering support, including to vulnerable people, by making emergency funding available to help them to adapt their operations to new ways of working. And as we begin to move beyond the pandemic, I am keen that we continue making as much use of new technology as we can. But I'm very much aware that vulnerable court users can have limited access to digital infrastructure, and in some instances, online solutions simply are not appropriate for them. So our focus in the months and years ahead will be on determining which innovations we should build upon, so that an increasingly modernised justice system continues to be open and inclusive to all users, including the most vulnerable. And more broadly, we will continue making sure that vulnerable people can engage with a full range of justice services. Our court service has recently begun work on collecting more consistent and higher quality data on protected characteristics so that we can better understand and address the needs of vulnerable people right across the justice system. And one particular area of focus for us will be neurodiversity in the criminal justice system. Specifically, how we can tailor services to meet individual needs so that we can provide more effective pathways to rehabilitation and prevent reoffending. Equal access to justice is a noble principle to which we are all rightly committed. Over these last 12 months, I'm sure for you, like me, it has felt at times as if keeping the doors of justice open to anyone was an achievement just in itself. And as we all strive to deliver solutions to the common challenges that we face because of COVID-19, it reinforces the importance of global cooperation and collaboration. And I hope that we can commit to continue to learn from each other and to share best practice on what really works, and raising standards globally, so that collectively we can keep the doors of justice open to everyone.